I'm David Frank. I'm the producing artistic director of the American Players Theatre. We've created this video to tell you a little about APT's Touchstone campaign. It's the next great step in the history of this extraordinary theatre. What a journey. 29 years ago, there were this small group of visionaries and an impossible dream. No money, hardly a building. And then by 1990, there were 40,000 people in the audience. And by 2003, there were 110,000 people in the audience. And all of a sudden, we looked around and there we were, one of the two largest outdoor classical theatres in the country.
The very beginnings of APT were a spectacularly exciting time for me. In 1980, I was a young actor just out of grad school at Northwestern, and I did an audition that week for a theater I'd never heard of called American Players Theatre. I arrived here in Spring Green maybe a month later. I and the rest of the new company, we were led up the hill to see the theater. There was no theater. There was a big empty sand bowl where a theater was going to be, we were told, by the time we completed our rehearsals. So we rehearsed for 5 weeks and they built furiously for 5 weeks. Sometimes the actors would actually go up and help lay the railroad ties that formed the original terracing of the old theater.
My first impression was that I had somehow wandered onto the set of MASH because of the dressing rooms looked very much like the barracks in MASH. They were like tar paper roofed and screened in, very primitive. I remember that when we'd come there in the morning, there would be raccoon prints at our dressing bay in the face powder that had been spilled, and you'd put on a boot and there would be something in there and it would be acorns that deer mice had deposited.
What was special about that first year and what made it so exciting were three words that you're going to hear a lot probably as you listen to us all talk about APT, and that was energy, dedication, and passion. And Randy Kim set a very high bar for dedication and passion and energy. That connected with the energy, dedication, and passion of the audience that came to receive these plays was a huge thrill, and that thrill continues to this day.
We have come so far, and every success that we've had, and every success we hope to have in the future, stems directly from our determination to grow artistically. Now, we've thought about this a lot, and we believe that there are four major challenges that face us right now. One, it's become harder and harder to find young actors with the skill set to become the next generation of core company actors. Two, as we grow, we need to expand the scope of our work. There's so many beautiful classical plays that we wish we could do that we just don't feel are suitable for a large outdoor theater. Three, we need more rehearsal space for our plays and to support the educational programming that's continually growing. And four, scene painting has become more important than ever, and we simply don't have enough room to paint it all. We don't see these challenges as hardships. We see them as actual signs that we're growing and as opportunities for our future success.
To address these challenges, we spent the next 18 months deliberating, analyzing, dreaming, and at the end of those 18 months, we were absolutely convinced that we had to raise $4 million to construct two new buildings. One of those would be a production support space, and the other a 200-seat indoor theater. The key to our future lay in those buildings. We assembled a terrific team, including general contractors, Kramer Brothers, who've worked with us many times before, and architects Peter Tan and Strang Incorporated from just down the road in Madison. In Strang, we saw a kindred spirit, highly creative and yet sternly practical. Like us, they believe that sometimes the most satisfying artistic endeavors are also the simplest and the least extravagant. Their designs are complete, and best of all, we've raised 2.6 of the $4 million we need to complete the construction of those buildings by the summer of 2009.
So I recently heard specifically why build a new theater. I was watching the first preview of Night of the Iguana and sitting in the audience, and one of the things I love about this theater is the audience. A woman leaned forward from behind me and said, "Oh, we love this season, everything's been great. But what's this I hear about a new theater? You're not replacing the Up the Hill Theater, you're not replacing this theater." And I had to say, no, we wouldn't dream of getting rid of the outdoor theater. That is APT, it defines APT, the up the hill experience. But we're thinking about this indoor space as a way of enhancing the up the hill experience. It adds on to what APT is.
I like to liken it to adding a child to a family. First of all, you would never ever dream of trading one of your children for a new child. We don't ever want to get rid of the old space. It is APT. We wouldn't want to change it for the world. But when you add a child to a family, generally it enriches your family and makes it a more wonderful family. And we're just trying to enrich your experience and our experience, frankly, of what APT is and can be.
Oh, His Excellence did earn it ere he had it.
Now imagine these actors in an intimate 200-seat space. For example, here's Jim DeVita with some lines from Macbeth.
He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his subject strong, both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which all leaps itself and falls on the other side.
Wow, to experience that in an intimate theater setting, that is a great reason to build this new theater space, all in itself. Here's another reason. The future of our core company. We have this extraordinary group of artists who have dedicated themselves to American Players Theater, and we need an outlet for their ever-broadening creative energies. They want to write, they want to direct, they want to teach, and this new theater is an amazing opportunity for them and for us. And the younger actors that are harder and harder to find, to have this space as a laboratory, for them to spread their wings, to learn and grow, and when they're ready, we can send them up the hill to play Hamlet. I mean, what is more important to the future of this theater than that?
Come to the top of the hill and chase me through the bracken.
I first came to American Players Theater as an audience member back in 1992. I was 15 years old, and I saw a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. And now I'm actually joining the core acting company, which is incredibly exciting. It's very thrilling to become a company member at this point with so much incredible history supporting this theater now, and then to be looking at such incredible possibility in the future.
The continent and summary of